Ismail Haniyeh has been killed in Iran. The militant group has confirmed his death in a statement. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said Haniyeh was targeted in his residence and it is investigating the circumstances of the incident. In a statement, the Hamas group mourned the death of Haniyeh, saying he was killed in a treacherous Zionist raid on his residence in Tehran. While a senior Hamas official said the leader's killing will not go unanswered. Haniyeh was on a visit to Iran for the swearing-in of the new Iranian president, Masoud Pezeshkian. He attended the swearing-in ceremony on Tuesday. Early this morning, his residence in Tehran was struck, resulting in his and one of his bodyguards' deaths. The Hamas chief's daughter-in-law, Inas Haniyeh, was seen mourning him in a video recorded from Gaza City.
بقلوب راضية بقضاء الله وقدره. أني رجل تضج الأرض والسماء بطيب ذكره، رجل غني عن التعريف. أني عمي وحبيبي وأبي وتاج رأسي وقرة عيني، العم أو العبد هنية، ليلتحق بركب المجاهدين والصادقين والميامين، ليلتحق بركب أبنائي وبركب هذه الدماء الزكية، الشهيد البطل.
Remember, 3 of Haniyeh's sons were killed in an airstrike back in April, in which Haniyeh also lost 4 of his grandchildren. Last month, his sister was also eliminated. Haniyeh was Hamas's exiled political chief and had spent much of his time in recent years in Qatar. Ismail Haniyeh was officially the chair of the group's political bureau. He was appointed to the top job in 2017. And while he lived in exile, Yawan Sinwar acted as the leader of Hamas in Gaza and was reportedly the mastermind behind the October 7th attack on Israel. Haniyeh usually resided in Qatar, but his property was being used as a meeting place for other members of Hamas's leadership. His Gaza residence was used as a terrorist infrastructure and was hit by an IDF airstrike back in November. However, he was seen by many diplomats as a moderate compared to the more hardline members of the group inside Gaza. In recent months, Haniyeh acted as a negotiator in the Gaza ceasefire talks. Over the years, Haniyeh had a major hand in building up Hamas's fighting capability, partly by nurturing ties with Iran, where he has now been killed. Well, for more on this, we're being joined by our correspondent, Jodie Cohen, live from Ranana. Jodie, good to see you this morning. Bring us the latest developments from where you are. What are you hearing on the ground after this quite surprising news?
Hi, Oliver. So, of course, we've seen 2 significant developments over the past 24 hours. Firstly, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh has been killed in Tehran. Now, no one has claimed responsibility for this attack, but it is known that Israel had Haniyeh in their sights. He was the #1 leader overall in Hamas. Now, some, as you said, refer to him as a moderate, but Israel would absolutely disagree with this, particularly after Hamas's 7th of October massacre. Now, it's significant, some people are saying, that this happened in Iran and not in Qatar where he lived. And that's potentially because Israel has been saying that Iran has been coordinating the attacks against Israel amongst its proxies. Hamas has blamed Israel for the attack, calling Haniyeh's killing a grave escalation. And of course, the second event was the killing of the IDF strike, I should say, on Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr, which has been claimed by Israel. Now, Shukr was wanted by the US as well as Israel for numerous attacks. For example, the bombing that killed 241 US Marines in the 1980s and the Majd al-Shams attack this week in Israel. So both are seen as extremely significant, and people are asking if this could potentially lead to an escalation across the region.
Well, you mentioned that escalation. What are the concerns now about this situation now catalysing into a wider regional conflict?
So at the moment, the IDF have said that there are no changes of instructions to Israeli civilians, but that the public should be vigilant. We've heard from Defense Secretary Austin in the US that he does not believe that a wider war is inevitable, and he says that they're working towards a diplomatic solution. Now, commentators are suggesting that we're likely to expect at some point a response from Hezbollah and Hamas. I've been speaking to some commentators over the past hour. For example, Eli Carmon from the Institute of Counterterrorism, he's an expert on Iran. Now, he is suggesting that a retaliation could be limited, that for Iran to get involved, it would need to prove Israel's involvement. He also suggested that it would be interesting to see the reaction of President Erdogan in Turkey, who he said was friends with Haniyeh. And remember, Erdogan has threatened to invade Israel. Now, we're also hearing that Israel is stepping up security at its embassies around the world, and that security is being stepped up at Jewish sites around the world as well. The Houthis, China and Russia have condemned the attack. Tehran, which targeted Israel in April, said that the killing would strengthen the bonds between Iran and the Palestinians. The New York Times is reporting that the killing would delay the truce in Gaza. And the US, which reportedly struck Iranian-backed militia in Iraq at around the same time as this strike against Haniyeh, has said that the US would help to defend Israel if Israel is attacked.
Okay, Jodie Cohen joining us live there, our correspondent on the ground in Ranana. Many thanks for that insight.